2, 1, and we're good.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're here with Rick Mann, and we're happy to have him this morning, talking about his Hawaiian cookies and all the different things that he does. And while we're close with the market and all, we're doing these interviews with vendors and a lot of the small business operators that are still operating and still trying to do business, and we're hoping to support that. And so here's Rick Mann. Take it away, Judy.
Rick.
Good morning.
Morning, Rick.
Good morning.
So, Rick, when we when we first met, I think Roy was the one that actually found you guys, and he was telling me about you. He was like, "Man, I found this guy, and he makes these Hawaiian cookies." And I, for the likes of me, I couldn't imagine what's a Hawaiian cookie. And I was like, what is that? He was like, no, it's a cookie and it's got macadamians in it. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. So when you finally came to the market, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure everybody says the same thing. It's like a pecan patty, or what is that? Sandy? And you're like, no, it's a Hawaiian cookie. So give us a little bit about, what made you want to start doing this? What made you want to start doing cookies, or how did that happen?
Well, to give you a little history about our cookie, the only place that you can find these cookies, it is in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And Hawaii is the only place that you can find. It's called a Hawaiian macadamia nut shortbread cookie.
Okay.
And it started years ago, and it progressed and progressed. And then when we came to Houston, we wanted to do something different. And so that's when, probably about 4 years ago, we started to bake that cookie for Christmas. And then everybody, once they tasted it, they said, man, you really need to start selling these cookies.
Yeah.
Because it's different, it's light, it's buttery, it melts in your mouth. And again, the only place that you can find it is Hawaii. But it is my grandmother, or my tutu's recipe. Tutu for grandma.
That's right.
That's right. Obama used to call his grandmother Tutu.
Tutu. Yeah, I think Nana. I think everybody's got a name for their grandma, Big
That's
Mama.
Right. That's right. So going to East End Farmers Market, it's been such a treat. The people that we meet on a weekly basis is phenomenal. We have a lot of return customers that keep coming strictly back for the customers. And the way we present our cookies is when you buy a cookie at our booth, we give each customer a lei, and at the end, we tell them the traditional way: when you get a lei, when you go to Hawaii, you need to get a kiss. So what we do is we ring our bell, and as soon as you hear the bell ringing, that's when you make the exchange. And so far, we're the only vendors in Houston that has that type of atmosphere. Yeah. So people, when they hear us ringing the bell, not only are our customers sharing and kissing each other, but all the other vendors, when they hear the bell, they start to kiss also.
Oh, that's it. That's right. Yeah, I remember turning around. It's like, oh, what's making all this noise? And there you are, ringing your bell. And
some of the other farmers markets that we used to go, we no longer do because of the COVID-19, but a lot of them said,
you could put a plastic like that. Just put a Hawaii leaf and let them, here, kiss the leaf.
A lot of them said, man, we missed the bell. We really missed the bell.
Yeah.
It was kind of exciting. So it's a tradition. It was just a tradition for us to kind of showcase our tradition in Hawaii.
Yeah. And that's what's lost, I think, these days with especially with food and stuff, is the tradition that went into the food. There's a lot of food that comes from, man, my grandma, her grandma, we've been making this food, this type of food for a very long time, and it's the tradition that goes with it. So how long have you been, or have you always lived in Houston, or how long have you?
No. My wife and I both came to Texas about in '83.
Okay.
That's when we were with Continental Airlines as flight attendants, and they closed the Los Angeles base, and so we moved to Texas because it was so affordable, which it still is.
That's
Texas
right.
Is
we'll take anybody. Come on.
the last frontier as far as in real estate, the last frontier where it's so affordable. My family is in Hawaii, so real estate, what we pay here for 200,000 over there is 900 to $1 million. So it's a big difference, and that's why it's so affordable, and that's why we see a flock of people still coming to Texas.
Still coming.
Houston especially.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Roy, what have you've had his cookies, right? Like at the house?
Oh yes, yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing cookies. You know, I think that the thing that really captures everybody at the markets and all is that when we were open, and Rick would always have samples, you know, and have little individual contained samples that he would offer to passersby, and that's all I had to do was just try it. If they tried it, they'd turn around, come back and buy cookies, because I mean they're just amazing. They're very, very delicious. In fact, I need to order some now. I'm thinking about. I need to order
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking the same thing.
them, you know.
Yeah.
Rick, tell us a little bit, Rick, about you and your wife's background. It's very interesting, and a connection with Houston even before you moved here because of Continental Airlines when they were still operating, and the work that you and your wife did, you know, with Continental Airlines. It's a great story if you could tell us that.
Oh, right. So my wife and I, we both met flying. We were both flight attendants, and we were on the South Pacific run. So all we did was LA, Honolulu, then we went on to Sydney. And so we met there. We flew for several years, about 5 years out of Los Angeles. Then when they decided to close the base, they said that they're moving the headquarters to Houston, and that was becoming the main hub. And then instead of us commuting back and forth to Los Angeles, we said, now best for us to do is to move to Houston because we can buy home. And then being flight attendants, if we got tired, we can always fly out and go elsewhere. So since 1983, we have been here. We haven't moved away. My wife finally retired after 41 years with Continental United Airlines. She retired after 41 years. So, and that's a long time to be with an airline, but we saw a lot of good things with the airline. We saw where it went from worst to first, and it was one of the best airlines, especially in Texas and Houston. They made us proud to be part of Texas. So it was great. Yeah, it was great. Great airline.
I think you've really, you know, had your home here, you know, and your family, some of your family. I know I've met I met one of your sons that's a police officer with the HPD, you know, and that's always near and dear to my heart, being ex-HPD myself. And I've had the pleasure of meeting your son that I believe is a sergeant with HPD.
Yes, he is. He's been there for about 13 years. He loves the work. Very compassionate. He's the, you know, they say there's a good cop, there's a bad cop. He's a good cop.
I hear you.
Yeah, he better be the good cop.
Yeah, he really is.
My son better be the good cop.
He looks like a kid, but he handles himself very, very well.
I'm sure he does.
Compassionate. There was one time where him and his partner, they were in a car, and for some reason this dog got hit, and the dog was kind of crawling back to get to the side of the road. They put their flashers on, they got the dog, took the dog in the car, and they took him to a veterinarian because they were compassionate.
That's what they do.
Yeah, a lady saw them do that. She followed them, and she thanked them at the end. So that was very compassionate. Yeah,
it is.
That's good. You know,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You gotta have some empathy for life. Period.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Even if it's a dog, a squirrel, or anything, you know, you just can't just drive by.
And getting back to
the cookies.
No, getting back to the samples, Roy, you're right. You're right about the samples because we do have the tray. And as people going by, we said, would you like to try a Hawaiian cookie?
Yep.
And they look at us, a Hawaiian cookie, and then they taste it, and then they walk away. You're right. They come right back.
Come right back.
What did I eat? And at your market, there was one lady, she took the sample. She went through the market. She went back to her car 2 blocks away. She ate the cookie, And she came right back. She said, I should have bought it when I was there.
Yeah. Usually what happens is they'll buy the cookies and they won't make them home.
No.
Right.
And then they end up coming
Absolutely right.
back, or they'll end up sending a message, man, how do these cookies didn't make it
You're
home?
absolutely right. Yeah, there was a comment from one of customer from East End Farmers Market. He said him and his son, they ate it, and they're so mad that they ate it all in one sitting.
Yeah. Yeah, usually we like to tell people, man, come and try this sample. It'll change your life.
That's right.
We don't got to do that with you. You just say, hey, man, try this, and
Try this and that's
sold.
Well, we simply enjoy working with you guys. I mean, we have such a great time. The vendors there at the East End Farmers Market, they're great people to associate with, and a lot of their stuff it's all authentic, and that's what we look for and be authentic.
Yeah, that's Roy and I always have the discussion when we're looking for vendors, when we're sourcing new vendors. We're looking for that passion. We're looking for that commitment to their product. A lot of times people just they do resells and stuff like that. I was like, no, we're not really looking for that. We want a story. We want a product where you can tell us how the process came about. Like in your case, Roy and I, we've been vendors at other markets, many a times, and we've been around. So we know how it is to first start out. It's scary. Am I going to make it? Is this worth it? But I think that the one thing that's common among all the vendors is that you have a good product.
Yes.
Just somewhere deep inside you go, you know what, this is good.
Yeah.
And your cookie is good. So let me give us a little insight of the beginning. When you're sitting there and you made the cookie and people said, man, you got to sell this. But the minute you guys took that leap.
Well, we then decided, well, we need to go ahead and experiment. And then, of course, for the amount of volume that we do, anywhere from 5 to 1,000 cookies, we had to find a commercial center where we can go and there were huge ovens before taking that leap, because most companies go to a farmer's market when they're just getting started, when they're trying to start their business. And I think that is the great way to do it, because you can test your product, you can see what kind of reception you're going to get from the public. And that's what we decided to go with the farmer's market, because we were a mom and pop shop type situation. And so we decided to go that route by doing that, going to the farmer's market, being able to create that cookie. And I think, you're right. It's having to do with your passion, your love for what you do. And by doing that, it comes out through your product. Your product comes out
100%.
And we make sure that whatever we put out is that, will I enjoy it? Will my family enjoy it? And that's what we want. That's what we want to show. That what we serve is, there's a lot of, we say aloha in Hawaii. Aloha means love. So we want to be sure. And that's one of the reasons why we went that route, because we're able to do all of that.
Yeah. There's something that Roy would always tell our vendors. And Roy, I know you can agree with that, because you say it all the time. When we're talking to vendors, we tell them, this is the cheapest, easiest form of getting your business out to the public, is a farmer's market. You start your business, you get a quick DBA. It doesn't take that long. You get your tax ID, and you're up and running. For all intents and purposes, you're a business. And I think the big hurdle is vendors. They get a little apprehensive. They're a little scared, man, because a lot of people don't normally talk to public in a public setting. When customers come up and next thing you know, they got to talk about their product. So I think that plays in it. But with you guys, I mean, from day one, you were right there.
Yeah, you were hit. And a part of that with new vendors is that which you and your lovely wife are absolute naturals in what I'm about to say. And that is, I don't care how good of a product you have, you have to be able to communicate that to the customer, and being able to engage the customer and tell them a little bit about your product so they can try it, and then you've got them, But it's so important to engage the customer with what it is that you're selling, and y'all do a fantastic job. We've had vendors that have had some, not so much success where they have a good product, but they're just not, accustomed to engaging a customer. I mean, that's what y'all did, your entire career with Continental is serving a customer and engaging. So it's a natural, so it just folded just beautifully into y'all's business at the market. And every vendor, that starts, and we tell them to come to the market and take a look at what some of the vendors are doing. I would always point y'all out, so y'all need to go over there and just stand there and watch what they do. And this is what you need to emulate, because it's a true proven product, and what y'all do is a beautiful thing.
And you're right, because when we first started, we had to make sure that we stepped out of the box. We were intimidated by all the other vendors because they had a product, they were there, and they were established, and we were brand new. So what we had to do was we had to look inside. So what do we have? We have a product that nobody else has. And so try to enhance that product and do the best that you can to bring it out as far as in sales and in marketing. So we took the best that we knew, the leis we have a tiki god that's like 10 feet tall, and we bought him to attract more people.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we got that. And then what captured a lot of people was every time they bought a cookie, we said, well, let's give them a lei. And once we did that, we were able to give the people the lei. When they walked around the farmer's market, we knew who we sold the product to. Yeah. And it was a form of advertising. Hey, where did you get that from? Where did you get that lei from? From that booth over there with the cookies. So that was another ploy that we saw that it began to work. Yeah. And we were proud of that because we were the only ones. Not only that, in our product, not even Honolulu, our boxes of 12 cookies, we put a lei inside. So when they open the box, they say, wow, we have a lei in there. Not even Honolulu does that. And that's the true Hawaiian way. You're spreading the aloha, and that's what we're doing. We're spreading the aloha, even here in Texas.
Yeah. I want to bring up something that's pretty serious. And it still has to do with food. You guys gave me and Roy this tasty treat. And I tell you, you had us hooked from the minute we bit it. Tell us about that.
Well, it's called musubi. Musubi it's rice with Spam, and Spam sells the most cans in the world, in Hawaii than any place else, because when the farmers first came to Hawaii to work on the sugarcane fields, the pineapple fields, and they had the Filipinos, they had the Chinese, they had the Japanese, and they all had their good dish, and they all made everything into one, and they made this one dish called musubi. So they got the Spam, they fried it in teriyaki, they put it in rice, and they wrapped it with seaweed. And today it's the #1 seller in Hawaii. If you go to a Stop and Go or 7-Eleven in Hawaii, they even carry that musubi. So we share it with any type of food that we have that we know that people will like. I mean, we share. We always do. And so we share it to you guys anyway.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Man.
Oh, it was. What do we call it? The employee snack?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I loved it so much. I told my daughter about it, and she says, I know what that is. I'm going to make it. And we bought her a can, and she made it. And I was like, oh my God, this is
You made it?
Yeah, she makes it. Oh,
good.
And she even uses the can itself as the mold.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And she looked it up. She goes, that's how they do it. I was like, okay. So she made a whole can, right? And my son and we all ate it. And we're like, oh my God, this is it. This is it.
Did she
Oh
fry it?
yeah, oh yeah.
Good,
She
good,
fried
good,
it,
good.
and
Smart.
she even put the little sesames like you told me to and stuff. And,
Oh.
oh, it's so good. I loved it so much. I went and bought a case of Spam.
Now, the trick also, when you go to the Asian market, there's this seasoning called furikake. Furikake is like.
See, now you're holding back. You didn't tell me about that.
Okay. It's called furikake.
Back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's called furikake, and then they sprinkle that on top of the rice. Then they put the Spam. Delicious.
See, they always leave out something.
Always.
I'm gonna leave out this little spice right here. That's for me.
So you'll come back.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I'll go back. Don't get me wrong. But oh yeah, it was. Yeah, we tell her make it again, and so there'll be like a plate of like 20 of them. Everybody's eating it.
Good for her.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, she's. That was one of the things I said. You know what? I love his cookies, but man, I miss that musubi.
Yeah. Well, we miss you all too, so we can't wait till you guys get back. So we can get back there too, you know.
And in the meantime, you know, y'all are doing a lot of sales online and that sort of thing, and you know, people can order and you're doing, you know, I see online a lot of things that you're doing beyond the cookies. You're doing some other things, you know, but you know that certainly is the main push, you know, certainly as your Hawaiian cookies, and so how's that going with your sales online and that sort of thing?
Well, the sales online where our website is under construction right now, so
okay,
yeah, we're redesigning we're going through a Yelp and Facebook, and we do get a lot of sales. We're selling a lot out of state, out of Texas. So that's where most of our orders are going, and that's our next concentration. For now, we're just concentrating on the product directly here because we want it in every store soon.
That's a good thing. Yeah. So I remember you telling me you were your cookies were in a store
or some restaurants.
Restaurant. What was that?
They are located at the it's called Maika'i Hawaiian Barbecue, and they have two restaurants. Okay. One on it's 1960 closer to 290. It's called Maika'i Hawaiian Barbecue, and then another one out in Pinoak in Katy, and they're opening another one in Bel Air. So it's a Hawaiian barbecue restaurant. The food's excellent. Musubi is even sold there.
That's it.
Well, we got to check that out, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So I'll tell you what. At the end of this, make sure you send me that link, and I'll put it on there, and we'll let the people know that they can go down there and pick some of these cookies up. Okay. Pick up some musubi and some Korean barbecue and all that good stuff.
Seaside Poke right there on St. Emmanuel. They carry out cookies as well. So
nice.
Seaside Poke, right there on St. Emmanuel. Have you ever tried poke, by the way?
Oh, I love poke.
Oh, you do? Good. Good.
No poke over here.
You haven't tried it?
No.
Because you haven't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I gotta Google it.
Tell them what it is, Rick.
So what it is, it's ahi tuna. It's ahi tuna, and it's raw. But you know.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what you took to Roy's when you went over there.
A form
in the avocado.
That was a lomi salmon, right?
That's lomi salmon.
Oh, man,
it's the same though. It's the same,
very similar, but
yeah, man. Man, I was lomi'd out because that thing was man. For all my everybody that's listening, if you haven't had the lomi, you crazy.
Lomi salmon and avocado, but try the Seaside Poke. I encourage you to try Seaside Poke. It's off of St. Emmanuel, across from George R. Brown Convention Center. Oh. And they have the aioli. It's called the aioli tuna. Ai tuna.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Over rice, or you can have it over salad.
Yeah. A lot of people really don't like, ooh, raw fish or sushi. But I tell you what, that lomi in the avocado, oh, man, I went home dreaming about that. The thing was so good. It was just so fresh.
like with
Oh my
anything
God.
like poke or lomi salmon, it has to be, you have to be careful the way you handle fish, right?
Yeah.
You should be, you have to be careful. So we make sure that you freeze the fish for 7 days, because if
Nice.
there's anything in there,
Oh
you
yeah.
can kill it within
See,
7 days.
that's smart.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of
that's the
people,
trick. The
yep,
trick there.
to freeze it.
The second thing for the lomi salmon is we cure it with a Hawaiian salt.
Mm.
So if there's anything in there, that salt's gonna
Yeah, it'd
gonna
get it
catch
too.
it. It is gonna catch it.
Yeah, freezing is
You-
a good thing. I remember I told Roy, and I tell a few people, flour. If you buy a bag of
Okay.
flour, stick it in the freezer,
freezer.
and because you let if you
Say
let
that
flour
again?
sit, if you let flour, regular just flour, if you let it sit for a long time, you'll see weevils come out,
Oh,
right?
sure.
So if you freeze the flour overnight, they'll just kill everything. So I
Uh,
don't know what it is in flour that these weevils, because I know we've had some old bags. I'm like, oh man, they're full of weevils. What's going on? And I looked it up, and they're like, yeah, it's just part of it's in the flour. So
hmm.
you freeze it, and it's done. There's nothing in there, and it kills everything. So yeah, freezing's a good thing.
Good
That's
point.
pretty
Good
smart with
point.
the
Good
fish.
point. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah. So
So your lomi, when you put that in the fridge, and cure it with Hawaiian salt, you do that overnight. Is that what you do,
yes.
or a few hours, or?
So the fish, the salmon is frozen for a minimum of 5 days.
Yep.
Minimum of 5 days. I bring it out, then we of course thaw it in the refrigerator. Then what we do is we take Hawaiian salt and we rub it on the salmon and then put that in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And once that's done, then you bring it out and wash off the salt, and then you're good to go. You're good to
Rick,
go.
have you always been into cooking and food and stuff like that?
I have my grandparents. They were great. My grandmother, especially, she was a great cook. Which my father took after her, and so he loved to cook, and then I learned how to cook as well from them. But since then, it's been good. Sorry about the barking.
That's all right. I thought it was my dog. I was all looking like I was trying to go shut up without making a face.
This is home office today, right?
Oh,
there you go.
All over
Oh,
the
yeah.
world is like that now.
Yeah, good thing I got the screen here because they're all right here laying down.
I need a long arm to knock the.
I was
to
like,
pass
please
it
be
on.
quiet. No, that's great. Food for myself and food for Roy is just part of who we are. Roy's been cooking. When Roy was at the market at downtown, he did. What'd you do? A chicken salad, and
we did chicken salad. We did
chicken salad's amazing.
kale salad,
Kale
quinoa
salad. There we go.
salad, that sort of thing, And then that's and y'all were there. Y'all were there at
Yep.
the
Yeah, we had our ice cream there and
yeah.
setting up and stuff. So it's always refreshing when a vendor is just really that into, because they doing food from the beginning. A lot of times they get in there and we ask them, hey, how long you been doing food? Oh, I don't know, I just started. So then it kind of loses, but they have a good attitude, which is good. You have a good attitude and you can make it, just keep going. But then there's always some small things missing about when just in the know about food and things like that. So it's always cool to talk to vendors that just from the very beginning, they've always had a passion for food and a passion for cooking. I know I got a passion for eating, I'll tell you that. So when we come across a really good product, it's just something that's magical, because you take that first bite, and like I've mentioned before, I was talking to Roy, it as a vendor, if I'm standing in front of you and I take that first bite of that cookie and my face just lights up, I'm pretty sure that means all the world to you.
It does. It's we know that we're doing something good. People enjoy it, and that's the main thing. They enjoy the product. So we have always, our signature or our top shelf cookie was always the Hawaiian macadamia nut sherbet. We have since then created the Chinese almond cookie.
Remember that.
It is a family recipe, and so we tried that. My son said, "Dad, if you have two cookies, people will more than likely buy two." So we introduced the Chinese almond cookie, and he was right because they couldn't make up their mind which one they wanted.
Nope.
They said, "I'll buy both."
Yep. Yep.
But
Yeah, I
so you
remember.
tried it. Right. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I remember when you brought that to the market and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna try this cookie." I was like, "We tried nothing. That thing is delicious." It's like, God, you don't gotta try it. Just sell it.
Yeah, your product. I mean, you got to have that love in that product. You know, I think that's the whole ingredients to whatever you make, whatever you cook. You
Yeah.
got to have that love in there.
Yeah, I know. Me and Roy, we'll have these long discussions about food, just talking about. My daughter makes this focaccia bread, and we were talking about a sandwich, and we were there for must have been an hour or a good 45 minutes, just talking about how delicious this bread was.
Looking at pictures of it. And, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just,
Look at this
ooh,
one.
It was like, oh, look at that. It's dripping with this.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just go off on food. So,
It's
I mean,
the magic. It's the magic
is.
of that. It's the ingredients. It's the magic of the ingredients that you put in there that people will.
And you can't be afraid of it. You can't be
No.
afraid of food. You just
Try
throw some spices in there. Throw this, throw that. If it doesn't work, try something else. I mean,
Don't serve it though if it doesn't work. For me, I won't serve it if it doesn't work.
No. You don't serve it. I'm talking about you can eat it yourself, just to try it and learn some new things.
Right.
There's we love going down and looking for new spices and new flavors and new things to put on food and just try it. That's how you discover.
Mm-hmm.
I know Roy has a wealth of knowledge about spices and all this and that. So I'm always learning from from him,
From that guy.
from that guy over there.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy still teaching me.
Well,
You know, once this pandemic,
I respect you.
yeah, once this pandemic is over and all, Rick, you need to come to Galveston and visit. And I need to take you by a little place, and one of my favorite little places. They're kind of partially open now, but anyway, it's called the Huli Huli Hut.
Huli Huli, that's Huli Huli.
Yeah, and it's a great little spot, and of course they got Huli Huli chicken. And
they do have the Huli Huli
they
chicken.
do, they do. To me, I mean, it's good. It's very good, but there's nothing like that Huli Huli chicken, in Hawaii or the one your buddy does, the cheese, right?
Are you familiar with it? Are you familiar with Huli Huli chicken?
Do what?
Are you familiar with Huli Huli chicken?
Are you familiar, Julian? Huli
Me?
Huli chicken.
Oh no.
Tell them about it, Rick.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Growing up in Hawaii, they would make you on the side of the road. They'd have these big,
like trailers.
It's trailers, yeah, trailers, and they have these roasters, and they have
rotisseries.
maybe 10, 20 chickens turning all at once. But the trick of that whole thing, it was their ingredients, it was the soy sauce and all that. But the trick was the keawe wood, which is mesquite wood.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know mesquite and keawe were the same thing, which is what is mesquite? What is mesquite, by the way?
It's wood.
What kind of wood is mesquite?
Well, it's a hardwood. It's one indigenous, to the Southwest, and
that's where you get your barbecue flavor, then, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Great
Well,
flavor. Mesquite wood, yeah.
Different woods give off a different flavor. Mesquite's a little bit more stronger flavor, a little sharper. You go applewood. It's a little more real mellow. Goes good with like fish and chicken, stuff like that. It's real. So it gives off pecan, perfect for beef and stuff like that. Oak.
Yeah. That's where that Huli Huli chicken was from, that mesquite wood, or we call it keawe wood in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But Huli Huli chicken.
Well, Rick, it's we're getting close to the end of the line here.
Okay.
So once again, tell us where we can find your stuff.
Okay, the best thing right now, while we're under construction on our website, best thing is to text us, call us or text us and that's 281-732-0448. And so if you text us, we respond real quick. You can call or order. Can I tell them what my prices are?
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to.
So the way we sell our cookies is we do have what we call is the snack attack bags. And the snack attack bags are these little bags, but they have 7 bite-sized pieces of cookies. And it's popular, people like it. And those goes for about $5. Then we have our 5-pack. It's got 5 whole cookies, and that's our top shelf. That's our top seller, and that one goes for $6. And then, of course, our final is our Hawaiian gift box, which has 12 cookies along with the lei inside, and that goes for $15. But for more information, we're on Yelp. Our reviews are on Yelp, and then you can also Facebook us on Facebook.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll make sure we put all the links at the end of this video, and so people can like and follow all your links and stuff. And appreciate you coming out and having this interview.
Thank you, Rick.
And we'll see you when we see you.
Good seeing you guys again. Hope to see you guys soon.
All right, bye.
Aloha, brother.
Aloha, you guys.